Okay, so welcome to the bite-size version of this week's episode. The bite-size has a cult following. You know, there's Rocky Horror Picture Show, and then there is TCG bite-size. I mean, it's just that big of a movement. Some of you guys like the bite-size. You know that I always do it in one take, 4 minutes or fewer, and I'm impressed, and you should be too, that I use the grammatically correct 4 minutes or fewer and not the incorrect 4 minutes or less. Okay, so, and I don't do any editing. I don't do any of the applause or the laughing or the boos. This one just strips it down and just gets down to brass tacks. This one is, I think I'm different than some reviewers because this one is Gisada Ambassador Intense, which I do feel is inspired by the Dior Elixir, Dior Sauvage Elixir. It clearly is inspired by. The reason why I say that, though, is last week I keep saying I reviewed the Gisada Ambassador Original, and it was, I don't think it's like the Dior Sauvage Original. Everyone says, oh yeah, it's just a copy of that one. I just completely disagree with that. I don't see that one. I don't see the connection there. I do see the connection on this one, though. This one is clearly inspired by, and in the full review, which is in the card in your upper right, make sure you can check out the full review. I really talk about why, and for me, when you look at this licorice-based fragrance, it is 1 year after Sauvage Elixir. Okay, so that but why don't I call it a dupe or a copy? I'm just not going to go on record and call it that, because listen to all the notes plus more, by the way, that it has that the other one does not. The other one is Dior Sauvage Elixir. So this one has, besides the notes they have in common, this one has raspberry, caramel, cloves, heliotrope, freesia, orchid, jasmine, and more. So I just don't think in good faith you can call this a dupe or a copy. I think it's better to say inspired by. And I feel like this one really is Dior Sauvage Elixir with the rough edges taken out. I think it's a less, if you find the other one just too harsh, just too in your face and too rough, then you would like this one because it is a sweetier. I keep saying sweetier. Okay, why am I saying sweetier? The dog doesn't know either. Sweeter, fruitier, and more floral. Okay, so there you have it. It's a sweeter, more floral, just a softer version, fruitier version of the Dior Elixir, Sauvage Elixir. All right, there, I got it done in one take. Okay, so there you have it. And then in the end, I did say it's a 51-49 split. And if I had to vote, I really do like Dior Sauvage Elixir. It's tough for me though, because the notes that I named here, man, I love many of these notes, especially cloves and caramel and raspberry, heliotrope, right up my alley. So you would think that I would prefer this one. I love both of them, to be clear. If I had the money, I would get both. But if I only had money for one, because the Dior Sauvage is about $100 more, but it is an extrait de parfum, right? It's a higher concentration. So if I did have the money, if money were not the question, I do admit that I would pick the Dior. Barely, but I would.